Hi, I'm Manny Botticelli. Welcome to my October 2019 horoscope report for you. It is my intention with this video to give you what you'll need to make the most of the stars this month. There will be challenges, and I will offer information on how you can make the most of those, and there will be sweet spots, and I will give you dates and all the things that you need to make the most of those. So definitely also check out anniehelpsyou.com for more free resources and all kinds of other things to help you on your starry journey. If you are in resonance with how I teach and you want to learn, then you can also check out at anniehelpsyou.com my astrology apprenticeship program. Definitely go to radicalprayerbook.com to check out my new book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life and the World in 28 Days, which is a book of radical prayers and affirmations that will help you create the life of your dreams. It is an Amazon bestseller, and it is a beloved companion to my fellow spiritual seekers, or so I have heard from many people. So what is in the stars for you this month? Hello Capricorn friends, welcome to my October 2019 horoscope report for you. This month is a very interesting month in the way that we are, until around October 12th, ending this big wide open window free from personal planet retrogrades that started in the middle of August, where we still have some time to push out launches, make big decisions, basically put our boats out to sea. I always talk about these times that are free from personal planet retrogrades, like trying to get off an island that you're trapped on, and you made a boat, and the tides are going out. So you want to set your boat out when the tides are going out. And so until around October 12th, the energy of the tides are going out. So you can set out your projects, your ambitions, your work. You're basically weaving your web and pushing everything out. And then starting around October 12th, the tides start coming in, and that's slowly at first, but the closer we get to October 31st, when the actual Mercury in Scorpio retrograde begins, and then it goes to November 20th, and then the post-shadow transit goes to December 9th. But between October 12th and October 31st, we're moving into those tides coming in. And when the tides come in, if you try to push things out too far, you're going to be paddling a lot harder, and you might not get off the island. So it's just a time rhythmically to be in sync with the planets, to bring things inward into your being, closer to you, not out to sea, but like here, you, your family, like things that are in your close proximity start to become, and very much internal, and backwards, like with an eye to the past, that starts to become the theme. So this month is divided in that way because, we've got this wide open thing and then it starts to go in. I also like to liken this to stepping into a cave. And the deeper you step in, which is like our story between October 12th and October 31st, you can see light behind you, the sunlight's behind you, and the deeper you go in, you start to not be able to see the light behind you. Now, I'm not meaning that it's going to be darkness and that this is bad. Retrogrades are amazing. They're not any better or any worse than when the planets are direct. It just has a different energy, and it can call things into question in a big way. It can cause you to want to or need to be forced to reevaluate decisions you've made, a path that you were on, but it's wonderful for wrapping up old projects. And this is an amazing window for wrapping up old projects because there's such a burst of new, forward-moving, pushing forward energy between December 9th and the beginning of February that we're really going to want to take advantage of, because 2020 is a year of personal planet retrogrades. We have Venus and Mars besides the Mercury retrogrades, all doing retrograde stuff. So again, this is not bad. Doesn't mean you can't do anything. It doesn't mean you can't progress. It just means, especially if you've been tracking this, you know what I mean, because I'm the queen of retrogrades. I'm always talking about retrograde processes. There's more opportunity inward than there is outward in some ways, unless things are just coming to you. So you're basically weaving your web between the middle of August, and it could have started before then, and close to the middle of October. And then as we get deeper into October, you're letting the food come to you, seeing what shows up, and then taking advantage of opportunities that are really close to you in your web range, not further out. Specifically for Capricorn energies, we have the energy of home and work highlighted in a huge way. And this is because the planet Uranus is hanging out in the sector of the fourth house. If you haven't realized this already, fourth house Uranus placements can bring a lot of unsettled, jostling energy in your home and family. It can bring surprises. When I had Uranus in that place, I moved a lot. It can bring a lot of moves. It can bring, different levels of volatility to family and the emotional inner space. So as that planet is there doing that, the personal planets are going to come and make a 180-degree angle to Uranus. The personal planets are Mars, Sun, Mercury, Venus. They're going to come and make an opposition here. And those planets are going to be clustered in the energy of work or your place out in the world. So this can also have to do with mother and mother energies, you being a mother, or your maternal energies if you're a male, and your inner world versus your outer world. It can have to do with father energies or your paternal energies or your masculine energies. Even women have masculine energies. We all are a blend of those types of energies. And so this kind of opposing of inner and outer, male and female, work and home, inner world and outer world is just really coming up very strongly and will likely be with lots of jolts. Now, the jolts don't only have to be bad. They could be some upsets, and there will be some of you who are going to have surprises in money and love that you are not going to like. And that is just the truth of the aspects at this time. But some of you are going to have exhilarating breakthroughs, amazing, crazy experiences in love and money that can really be life-changing and could be like sticking your finger in a light socket. Really, whenever there are Uranus transits, it's kind of like you have your finger in a light socket the whole time. It's like you're like zap, 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 zap. And not that that is good. That particular translation of it isn't good. But if you consider it like stuck in the light socket of spirit, where you're getting these jolts or these downloads or these different levels of understanding or these awarenesses or these experiences that shock, delight, surprise, jostle, that theme is going to be carrying through the whole month, and it can be in any area of life. But for Capricorns, it's really extra focused on this home and family, real estate, work, career, your place out in the world, mother, father energies. At the same time, the personal planets are also going to be squaring Pluto, Saturn, and transiting South Node. Now, these are some of our lords of karma, I call them, because they really show us deeply ingrained belief systems. I talk about belief systems a lot, and sometimes someone will say, well, what does that have to do with astrology? And I'll say, oh my God, that is everything. That is like, wow, I can't do astrology without this. Because what we see in a chart is belief systems. It's how energy moves through us, but those energies moving through us have to do with a belief system. And so we create from what we believe, and we create from what we consciously believe, and we create from what we unconsciously believe. And when we have lineups where planets make challenging aspects to lords of karma, it helps to bring right in front of our faces those belief systems that are helping us and those belief systems that are hurting us. So like, for instance, if your parents told you, you can have success and have anything you want with hard work. Okay, great. The good news is that you can have success and you can have anything you want with hard work. The bad news might be that you can't seem to break free of this need to work hard in order to have what you want. And things like that, like if you start to see, you'll start to see with these aspects, the storylines in a deeper way where it's like spirit is talking to you. Like all of a sudden you'll hear yourself say something and you're like, wow, like Byron Katie says, is that even true? Byron Katie is an amazing teacher, and she has this process called The Work where she really helps people to reevaluate their belief systems. One of the things she always says to ask is, wow, is that even true? And these aspects for Capricorns are really going to bring up this question. You believe something, you said something, you're uniting with other people, there's camaraderie with you and other people saying, yes, this is true. But if it's bringing you unfulfillment or challenges and it's not helping you and it's hard, then you can ask the question, is it even true? Then you start to crack open the possibilities for something else. And this month is very much about cracking open the possibilities for something else. It's a very emotional month because even though we have objective intellectual energies in Libra that are expressing, a lot of that energy was more in September because Mercury and Venus are getting ready to leave Libra. So it's really just the sun that's kind of representing these, intellectual energies. But this energy of Scorpio is coming in strong this month, and it's going to be a theme until around the first week of December. So emotions are key. And sometimes Capricorn energies are better at action, better at tangible things. Where is this going to take us? What are we going to do? And so what's happening now is it's helping you to evaluate the deeper emotional processes behind the productive and mundane experiences. So look forward to a lot of those possibilities. So I would like to talk about some more details for you, including showing you the charts and drilling down into see where in the Capricorn spectrum you are and how that can shift some of the experiences this month. The things I've spoken about will be true for all Capricorn placements. But if you're a student of astrology or you want to go deeper, then I'm now going to show you the charts because I'm an astrology teacher. So I delight not just in telling you what I think will be themes and what energies will be present, but also showing you why that's going to be. Okay, so let's look at the chart. Okay, so some of the things I talk about will be true for all Capricorn placements, but for others, other things I talk about will be designated into early, middle, or late. So let's check and see where you are. Early Caps are December born or 0 to 9 degrees. Middle, around January 1st through 10th or 10 to 19 degrees. And late, around January 11th through the rest of the sign or 20 to 29 degrees. If you're watching if you have a Cap moon like I do, or if you have a Cap sun or a Cap rising, this report is equally for all of you. Because the rising, the moon, and the sun charts are all windows that we look at the world through, and our experience comes through those windows. So they're all true at the same time. All right, so the first thing that I want to talk about, just use the late degree chart, but I'm talking about for all of you, is some basic things. Very simple overview. As the planets move through Libra, they make 1, 2, 3 90-degree angles with your Cap placement. So in general, like September into October, as the planets move in to Libra, this is a time of a little bit of discord in the stars with your natural placement, some conflict, some things to push through, usually small annoyances because these personal planets move pretty quickly, so the things tend to get dramatic and then pass pretty quickly. But as the planets move into Scorpio, so all these planets here are going to be moving into Scorpio, and as they do, they're going to be making 60-degree angles with your placement. So just having that as the main overview, and really, the domination of the month is Scorpio-based, because at the beginning of the month you can see these planets are very soon going into Scorpio. They're at late degree. So a majority of those aspects are going to be more sweet with your Capricorn placements because it's a 60-degree angle. And of course, those 60-degree angles that I always talk about have to do with opportunities. I call the 60-degree angle the ingredients on the counter aspect, because you have ingredients on the counter to make a pie, and you can either make the pie or not make the pie, but usually you have to do something with them. So if the time passes and you say, Annie, where's my pie? Then I'll say, get off your butt and make the pie, because the opportunities are going to be there. But that's this month. This month is full of opportunities because of those sweet aspects. And that's the first thing I wanted to point out. The second thing has to do with the things we talked about with all of these planets. Once they get to 5 degrees of Scorpio, they're going to lock into a configuration with the planet Uranus, bringing surprises. Could be positive, exhilarating, awesome jolts that crack you out of your old reality into a new, very exciting, liberating one full of freedom. That could roll out that way. Or it can be jolts to love, money, self-esteem, health, anything like that are also possible outcomes. But throughout the month, as these planets get to that configuration and lock in mathematically,
they're going to bring surprises, for better or worse. Early, middle, and late degree people, so all y'all, are likely to see those jolts come in the arena of home and work, family and work, houses, home-based projects, your place out in the world, mothers, fathers, your maternal and paternal energies, because of the 10th and 4th houses. So, surprises for better or worse in the work sector, in the home sector, within your family unit. Even you late degree people do have a chance for that because it's close enough here on that line. But you may have some of those jolts also coming from the 3rd and 9th house. And the 3rd and 9th house has to do with gathering information, sharing information, disseminating information, speaking, teaching, publishing, international things, phones, devices, cars, traveling, your mobility, your physical mobility. So be extra careful, especially late degree friends, as you're driving and as you're walking and as you're moving your body around and as you're working out. Just anything with your physical movements with this Uranus placement could be some jolts that could happen. And also, the 4th house has to do with any family member. So any Capricorn can have anything come up with any family member from these aspects. But you late degree people, you have some extra energy around like cousins, aunts, uncles, nephews, nieces, things like that. And again, this could be like you wake up with an amazing idea to work on a project with your nephew, or you get bad news from your brother, something like that. Those are all more likely, just something having to do with them. We've talked before about how the planet Uranus moving through the 4th house can bring instability in your home and family and bring surprises. Some people go through this time and they don't move at all or have any notable conflict or problem with their family member. Some of it's very internal. Some of it is just manifesting in positive ways, like genius ideas that you carry out with your family, or unconventional things going on with your family, maybe living in an RV or something like that. But many, many, many Caps will find that their home and family stability could be affected. And this is a very long-term transit. So early, middle, and even you late degree friends, because even though you still have Uranus very much influencing your 3rd house, late degree people, it's close enough now to the 4th house that you're really starting to feel that, especially for you early late degree people. Like the further out you are, the late degree, like 27, 28, 29, 26, 27, 28, 29, it's a little bit further away for you all. But the earlier parts of those late degrees, you're feeling this too in the 4th house. So, what I always say, well, I'll tell you what people ask me and then I'll tell you what I say. First thing people want to know is, when is this going to end? I can't really answer that for you because it is going to be very individual depending on your chart, and it is staggered over a many-year period, but it's going to be there for a long time, we'll just say, suffice to say. But when people ask that question, and in a reading I would give an exact answer to when it would be done there, but the more important question to ask is how you're going to use that energy while it's there for good, to benefit you. Many people find their security and their comfort in their home or family, and when this aspect is going on, a lot of times what Spirit is saying is, guess what? It's time for you to find your security within yourself, within your connection to Spirit. Sometimes it's time to find your security in the shell around your back like a turtle. And if you can succeed in that, then you can have a totally different experience of this transit. And that's what it's all about, It's all about how we experience certain things. Some of the things we might not have very many, very much say in, but how we see what's happening, that's where we have some say. So if you can start to reframe any of these disturbances that are going on in the light of saying, okay, well, this is shaking things up, this is building new, neural pathways, this is giving adventure, excitement, new things, and Uranus is the master of unconventionality. So the energy of unconventionality in your home, in your family, in your emotional space may be really wanting to come in. So we'll just kind of put that out there, because it definitely shakes things up, and it's definitely not in a nice aspect with Capricorn in that way, because Capricorn tends to be more traditional and want to have like a steady, secure, stable thing that makes sense. And Uranus comes in and it's like, this doesn't make sense, this isn't stable, but this is what's happening, and so you get to do with it whatever you will. The energy of Pluto has been really, for many years for you early degree Capricorns, for less years, but still a long time for you middle, and really for you late degree placements, starting to kick up even more as it moves closer to your actual Capricorn planets. But it is close enough in striking distance to be in your first house now, so that you could be feeling that. And what does it do? Pluto just transforms your relationship with yourself completely. So it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So there's like death and birth and rebirth going on in a big way. Some people may have near-death experiences. Some people may have a meditative experience that helps them to see everything in a different way. Health ailments can come up. Self-esteem issues coming up in a big way. A lot of energy of obsessive compulsiveness. If you're a Capricorn that has been working with OCD or anything like that, this Pluto could be bringing this into the forefront. And I definitely recommend, of course, I'm not a doctor, and it's good for you to stay in touch with all the doctors, your psychologist, your psychiatrist, your whatever that you need. But I love homeopathy for mental and emotional patterning. Especially, I've seen OCD things be able to really be helped by homeopathy. So finding a good homeopath who can help with those things on a very deep level can actually be very, very helpful at this time. So we'll just kind of put that out there, because Pluto is basically bringing in the topic of control. And so feeling out of control, being out of control, or being over-controlled, or feeling like things are out of your control, it's a big storyline of Pluto that has been right in the face of people with Capricorn placements, because over the years, recent years and current years, Pluto has been moving over those placements. But it's actually like revolutionizing everything it touches. So the more Cap places that you've had Pluto cross, the more your whole life is just being completely transformed. It's intense though. We can also see this 10th house is or about to be lit up. Okay, so this is one of those good examples of why I show the charts, because you can see right from the beginning of the month, this work, career, place out in the world, father, authority figure, house is being lit up right from the beginning of the month for early degree placements. But when you look at the middle degree chart, you can see that the personal planets that we're following in this reading are not quite there yet. They're about to go, like Mercury is about to go there. But it might take, a little bit of time, a week or so, before both of these planets are there into the 10th house. And then when you look at the late degree chart, it's going to take, could be a couple to a few weeks for these personal planets we're following to get into the 10th house. And that's why I like to show you the difference, because again, if you're a late degree person and everyone's like, yeah, all these planets are lighting up your work sector and it's the beginning of October, and you're like, yeah, I'm not feeling that. But a few weeks in, then it's like, oh, right. So I do put it out there for a little project for my late degree friends to feel into watching reports, mine and other people's, of the Aquarius reports, and see if the timing resonates with you. It's going to depend on whether they use an early or middle degree chart, but most astrologers use early or middle degree charts, because from what I understand, people aren't referring to all three of these. But you late degree friends, you may look more like the early degree Aquarius chart, depending on what they're looking at. So if you experiment with watching for those, then you might see that there's more resonance. Now, I'll always, talk speak to late degree friends. But even in my Aquarius reports, you might find you pick up more tidbits about the month for you if you watch the late and pay attention, or Capricorn and pay attention for late, and then Aquarius and pay attention for early, because you're in a little zone there that kind of gets forgotten. Not by me, but in general. Okay, so 10th house, so look for opportunities with work, job openings, lateral movements, opportunities and blessings from the past, especially towards the beginning of the month. There could be some new things, and all the things I'm talking about now are true for early, middle, and late degree placements, but again, it could be staggered for the timing. You might get accolades or recognition at work, different opportunities, or contacts that are made, or someone from the past can come in and be like, oh, hey, were you still interested in that kind of job or whatever? And it could set wheels in motion, something like that. You could have a business idea. You could be moving forward with business ideas, things like that on the side of your job. So 10th house being accentuated. Dad could need more attention, or dad could be helping, or a father figure, or something notable going on with bosses. So overall, I think a very supportive set of movements for Capricorn, again, because even though it looks like from this chart, like there's all that energy in Libra, but that's kind of not going to be as relevant after the first few days or so. And as the planets move through Scorpio, they're going to make this beautiful aspect with your Capricorn placements. So expect jolts and surprises, but don't assume that they have to be bad, but do be prepared just in case. Of course, as usual, when we have jolty energy, try to get your sleep so that you can better show up for any challenges that come.
So definitely go to AnnieHelpsYou.com, sign up for my free email newsletter, which will give you access a month ahead to a written version of the general transit so that you have those dates and all that information for your planning. Definitely, if you're interested in learning more about astrology, you can check out my Astrology Basics and Beyond course. And if you want to go deeper, if you think I go into details in the videos, you should see my Astrology Apprenticeship program. So you can see more about that and my other vocational assistance, including a Creating Successful Online Business course. You can check all of that out at AnnieHelpsYou.com. Definitely go to my husband's website, B.R. Newman, which is IamHelios, IamHelios.com. And definitely pick up my book, Radical Prayer. Transform your life in the world in 28 days. You can go to radicalprayerbook.com or search for Radical Prayer and Annie Botticelli on Amazon. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month.